think perhaps one of the greatest obstacles is the kind of scientism that seems to pervade popular culture. And this is very strange because this sort of view of knowledge is completely eclipsed and abandoned among philosophers who specialize in this area. But there's a very widespread belief that the only source of knowledge and truth is physical science, and that if something can't be proven through the physical sciences, it's meaningless or cannot be known. And that, I think, is simply a false and self-refuting theory of knowledge. I mean, consider the statement, you should only believe what can be scientifically proven. Can that statement be scientifically proven? Well, obviously not. It's just an arbitrary definition, so that the view is literally self-refuting. And yet, this seems to persist in popular culture very widely and prevents people, I think, from finding spiritual truth and spiritual knowledge.
It's the case that people don't live like it's true that there's only materialistic, physical answers to the deep questions.
That's a good point. They don't understand that in the way they treat other people and expect to be treated, they are affirming moral values and intrinsic worth of human beings in a way that cannot be established scientifically. Science is ethically neutral. It tells us how the world is, but it doesn't tell us how the world ought to be. For that, you need ethics, and yet ethics are inescapable in everyday life. Every day we wake up, we determine by how we treat other people whether or not we think that moral values are objective or just subjective opinions in our head.
The philosopher Alain de Botton makes the case that it is logical to say that we can lead morally perfect lives without recourse to the divine. How do you respond to that?
I would say that's the wrong question, Simon. The issue is not whether we need to believe in God in order to live good and decent lives. I'm not claiming that it's belief in God that's necessary. Rather, my argument is that we need God Himself to serve as a transcendent foundation and plumb line for objective good and evil, right and wrong. And whether or not you need to believe in this in order to live a good life is really quite irrelevant. It's God that is necessary for objective moral values to exist, not belief in God.